All right, hello and welcome everybody to episode 13 of the CA Talks podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Purcell, here with my co-host,
Dia Fallon.
and today we're going to be talking about current CA happenings as well as a very special interview with a senior entrepreneur, Azariah Jacobs.
Now, what sort of stuff does this entrepreneur do?
So she's actually started her own business called Beautified Touch, and she sells high-quality, affordable frontals, wigs, and more.
All right. And I believe she also has her own Instagram account for you all to follow. Her business at beautifiedtouch.co, as well as a website, all her own.
Yeah, go check her out, support her. Amazing person, amazing stuff, and you will be able to see that interview very, very soon.
Yeah.
But first, CA happenings. All right, juniors and seniors, spring break is coming early this year. You should be expecting it to start March 6th through Friday, March 10th. This is a lot earlier from
Broward County Public
Schools.
And this is also sort of the midway point in this semester. For seniors, after this, expect for time to fly by quickly, so keep track of the weeks. Graduation's coming pretty quickly after spring break.
May just creeps up on you.
Yeah.
And you know what else creeps up on you? The exciting, wonderful thing that is GradBash, March 31st. Make sure that you've gone through all of the rules and regulations on what you can expect on that wonderful trip and have fun at Universal.
All right. And juniors and seniors, a little special thing. Thursday, March 16th, is an early release day. So enjoy some of the extra time. And remember, on early release day, CA classes let out early. If you got any actual classes, they may not follow that same schedule. So check in with your professors on what they're doing that day.
And finally, Wednesday, March 22nd is the last day to submit your test scores for you seniors getting your final scores in for your admissions. This is going to be helpful for getting a chance to have extra aid in your regular decision applications.
Yeah. A lot of schools say that they're test optional. That's kind of a gimmick. It's in the college's best interest to get as many applications as possible and sort of not highest quality applications. So that way they can cut out a bunch of the stuff.
It's a quota.
Yeah, they've got a quota, and as that percentage of acceptances creeps down, the university looks better on rankings. And so a lot of them have inputted the test optional status in order to increase the amount, the volume of the applications they get.
Right.
And typically they're not as honest when they say that it's optional. They're still looking pretty heavily at your test scores. They just may not consider it as much if you don't put it in. They'll just consider other things a great deal more harshly.
Right.
So I would recommend that if you're good with your SAT or your ACT score, whichever one's higher, submit that. You got a couple of months left to put it in, but don't delay. Keep on getting on that. It may be the dividing line between a bunch of money or maybe even your entire acceptance.
March 22nd, remember that date.
March 22nd. All right, and now for our special segment where we're going to be interviewing one of our very own entrepreneurs here at CA, Azariah Jacobs, with her business, Beautified Touch. Now, we're not going to be the ones actually interviewing her. We've got one of our own cooperative hosts doing it instead. I'm not allowed to say co-host. They don't like it. So take it away online.
And you can see that right here.
How's everyone doing today? I'm here with our student spotlight, Azariah Jacobs, and she's here to talk about her experience as an entrepreneur with her company and how, she balances that with CA and a whole bunch of other topics. So Azariah, how you doing today?
I'm fine. How about you?
I'm doing great. So, to start off, like, what made you start your business? Like, what point was it a certain thing that happened, or?
Okay, so growing up, I always like loved to do my hair and learn different hairstyles. And I would do it on my family, like I would do it on my sister and stuff like that. And one day she was the one who actually had the idea of a business. So she was like, "Okay, I'm gonna buy a hair vendor and I'm gonna start selling hair." And I was like, "Okay, that seems cool." And then as time went on, she was like, "Would you be interested in taking a class of like how to, install wigs and stuff like that?" And I would also buy a vendor list. So I was like, "Okay, sure." So throughout that process, at the end, she was like, "No, I basically did all of this so you could start your own business because it seemed like something that you would be interested in." And that's basically how it started.
Hmm, interesting. So she got you into it.
Mhm.
Okay. So like, what was the process of starting it up? Like, what was the first steps that you did?
Okay, so after I received my vendor list, you have to contact the vendors yourself. So you go through the list, you text them like, "Hey, I got you off a vendor list. I would like to test out your products." Some of them will respond and some of them don't. So then after that process, you would ask for their rates and basically how much the items cost. And then I basically broke it down into what my budget would be and how much I would want to sell it for. And then after that, I picked my vendor, I tested out the hair, and then that's basically what happened.
Nice. Awesome. So, in that process, how were you able to have the customers or clients or like the lenders? Like, do you have consistent lenders?
No. So basically, the way how I got all my customers and clients was basically from social media. Social media,
Hmm.
I use like all different platforms to promote my business. I'll post TikToks about it. I'll post on Instagram, and then I would also like invest money into ads, running ads throughout those different platforms, and then also by word of mouth. Like I would get different brand ambassadors and my friends to try out the hair and like basically promote it.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, you touched on an important part, marketing and sort of like getting your name out there. That's really important for any entrepreneur to get it because everything's moving online. So just, you have word of mouth, you'll have people that'll support you, but at the same time, just tapping into the online market is really important. So next I would want to ask you about like how is being an entrepreneur, like how do you balance that with school? Because CA has a rigorous course load, so
Is definitely not for the weak. Being an entrepreneur is like a
yeah,
full time, 24/7 job. Like there's no off days. You always have to be monitoring what's going on because if nobody's going to monitor it, then
yeah.
what are you going to do? So,
Mhm.
it's definitely hard because I do run a business and then I have a job outside of my business and, of course, CA. So sometimes, there's times where you procrastinate, but all you have to do is basically just plan out your schedule and just follow it out.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, you touched on something really important. A lot of people, they'll say, "Oh, I want to start a business, I want to do this," but at the end of the day, it's on you. Like when you work a job, it's not really your power, but at the same time, you could not go into work. But if you don't go into work in terms of your business, like you don't put in the time every day, like no one's gonna pick up your slack. Like it's gonna be on you. So anyone that wants to start a business, like you gotta understand, like you want this to really take off. Like number one, it's gonna cost a lot of money, and number two, you're gonna have to really work at it, time and time and time and time, and then eventually you'll get to the point where you start making money. You start seeing things, but it may be a while, and you can't get discouraged, and you got to be disciplined with it. So, how has CA helped you as an entrepreneur to give you some of the knowledge to help you?
So in the beginning, when I came to CA, I was just like, there might not be much things of my interest because I'm not interested really into the STEM or like literacy and stuff like that, like more school based subjects. I'm
Yeah.
more interested in like the business aspect, like
Okay.
how to, make money like
Yeah.
at that very moment.
Yeah.
So I would say mainly like getting the opportunity to go to BC and take certain classes that really like helped. Like right now I'm taking marketing and it's basically teaching me everything to start a business. And then
Did
I'm
you
also taking,
did you take accounting yet?
yeah, I'm in
Okay.
accounting too right now.
Yeah.
And then that's basically showing me the whole financial side of running a business. So
Yeah. I think that's one of the underrated parts of CA, that when you get to your senior year, you're taking classes that are preparing you for your major. Like I want to be a STEM. I want to go to medical school, so I'm taking chemistry and biology. But even someone that wants to go into business, you can't take like AP business at like your high school. Like there's no business class. Like you just have to. But at BC, at CA at BC, you're able to get into the accounting classes, take your prerequisites, so that when you go into your major, you're ready. And like Azaria said, like you can take the business classes that will help you as an entrepreneur here. So that's a really cool part. But Azaria, I appreciate your time with the interview. You know, you seem like you got your stuff together in terms of your business. Hey, you want to give a little quick promo to everyone watching at home?
Okay, yeah. So my business is beautifytouch.co on all platforms. And yeah, it's a hair business. We sell different forms of extensions.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you for your time. And now to the rest of the podcast. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
All right, guys, that was a wonderful interview. Thank you so much for watching. We went over so much cool stuff. We got the rules and regulations for the GradBash. We've got the application deadline for your SAT and ACT scores. We've got the early release day, as well as our wonderful spring break, and a very inspirational alumni interview. I think I'm going to become an entrepreneur from that. That was a lot, you know?
Yeah, you do learn a lot. Yeah, that's some of the old American dream.
Yeah.
Making something with your own hard work, and most of all, getting paid for it.
Just one of many beautiful stories you can find from just so much character development and just intellectual understanding from being a CA student.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you guys in the next episode.
Now, we still, however, have the CA Instagram.
Yes.
Can't forget about that. CA Talks at BC, I believe. What was it?
It's our Instagram is CA Talks Podcast, as well as the College Academy Instagram, college.academy.
All right. And feel free to follow us there, see our updates, and maybe even DM us some information you have.
Yeah, leave a comment, subscribe, press that bell to make sure that you don't miss any videos that comes up.
And if there's any juniors watching, we're always looking to add to our podcast for especially the next year when you and I have to get going.
Right, eventually, we have to pass the mantle to somebody.
Yep. And with that, we'll see you all later.
Bye.
Bye. See ya.